Hi, you guys, and welcome back to Growing Gratitude. It is I, Becca Lori Hector, here with our little tiny secret, pardon me, but I'm going to move the camera for a little bit. Our little tiny secret meeting place here. I'm outside, you guys. I'm so excited. So, Growing Gratitude is my little idea. Kind of the idea is that if I pause once a week and make this rather large effort to talk about the gratitude points in my life or lack thereof, whatever it may be, that I will, in that effort of just kind of pausing in my week to talk about it, I will grow the gratitude in my life. And my hope is that as you guys kind of get in the habit with me, you can grow the gratitude in your life. So here we are. I feel like I'm sitting up very straight and it's very uncomfortable, but I'm sitting on the floor, you guys, right now. Sorry, in my backyard, right? Because it is possibly one of the last few days for the winter that I will be able to be out here right now in a t-shirt, okay? Just taking in the sunshine, which I so desperately need most of the time, which is great. I want to like move myself a little bit because I feel like I'm in the shadow. I didn't do a very good job setting things up here this morning. But that's not what growing gratitude is about. So let's try this way a little bit. Um, any case, really, really, really kind of pretty day out. And I wanted to take you guys out here with me because I'm trying so desperately to sort of take advantage of what's left of the sunshine because I'm doing, you guys, this is the day, right? And I know it's so terrible to say it this way, but this is the day that I feel like the depression sets in. The day after we fall back, right? All of a sudden it's darker sooner and I don't know, it's like it kicks in full force right about there. Hey Stevie. I'm outside, so the sun is totally like surrounding me here in Colorado. There's really just, unless I look that way, the sun will be in my face and then I won't be able to do anything but make squinty face at you. So I can't really see the chat is my point. And I'm sorry, you guys, because of the glare. But hi Miriam. Welcome you guys to Growing Gratitude. And I'm still living in the village of Rambly Thoughts, right? And that's okay because it'll take me a little while to get through it, I guess. There's Penny. Um, and you know, that's okay, I guess. Eventually my thoughts will begin to make sense together and not be so all over the place. They'll start to congeal and be all from the same person. But for now, they're still kind of rambly. And I wanted to talk about this week, you guys, because that's what we're here to do and to talk about the gratitude of this week. And I got to tell you, man, this week sucked. It really did. This week just blew the big one. And so the last few weeks have been tough, but it's been slowly discouraging, and it is now discouraging, right? So I don't know where I left you guys off on the whole saga, but I think I left you guys off with the big generator going down, right? So the big generator went down, such as life, blah, blah, blah. We're still resilient. We're still marching on. And then we had to, deal with this sudden freeze here. It was not that we don't get winter and freezes all winter long and that we don't know that they're coming and all of that, but this one kind of came out of nowhere. Like we were having 65-degree days and then all of a sudden below zero outside. And so everything froze. Things in the food truck froze. Things in the food truck exploded like soda. Exploded. And of course, our hose froze from the house to the truck, and it was just a mess. Everything is a mess. It's still a mess. We have yet to have addressed it because it was that discouraging. And then we were sort of stuck in the house for a few days there because with the frost and the cold, and then we got some snow, and then driving wasn't really so great. Certainly not for the food truck, but also not for us because as we were working on the food truck, both of our vehicles had sort of gone down, and now they had sort of, we were like, oh, we'll get to them when we get this all up. And then we had this freeze and we were without a four-wheel drive vehicle. Not a good scenario when you're up here in Colorado to be without a 4-wheel drive vehicle. So I'm really proud though. Antonio made a really good choice. He was like, well, look, we're sitting here and excuse me, and we kind of need the money or whatever, and we should be out there working, and we really could use the funds, and we've invested so much and all of that. But at the same time, because we've been so geared and so low spoons, but so geared to this transition and making this transition and everything, other things have fallen to the wayside, like taking care of our personal vehicles and things like cleaning the house, because our house is disgusting right now. I'm so grossed out by my own house right now. I can't even talk about it. Like, to the point where I'm like, why bother showering? Because I'll just get out into this mess. That's how gross it feels to me. And so I'm sort of in this depressed place about that. And he finally just said, look, we have to take this week off. We have to get our shit together. And it's not going to happen by magic. And if we're on the food truck kind of working and making the money that we need, this stuff will still be sitting here. And he said to me in the moment, he said, well, what's the point of doing all that work on the food truck if when we get home we hate it because we can't take care of any of the things here, and we can't go anywhere because our cars don't work, and we can't, right? And I was like, man, sometimes I realized that he listened so much to the stuff that I talk about and the stuff that I teach, that when he says it back to me, it's so refreshing. It's so nice to hear my own advice coming back to me from somebody else. And so I thought, yes, that's exactly what I would say to a client. If I had a client in this scenario, I would say exactly that. Take this week off because all those other things have to be done, and you're only 2 people and they have to get done. So that was I think that moment was probably my biggest gratitude moment of the whole week, because I was just so grateful for all the work that I've done, and that he decided to go on this journey with me enough that when I need my own advice, he knows how and when to give it to me. And apparently he gives my advice to himself, which was sort of this really grateful moment of like, wow, it works. And then it continues to work for me. Right? It was that change in perspective, that being my own thought police. Like, no, that's not a cool way to be thinking, especially at this time of year when I'm so susceptible to the downturns, right? I'm so susceptible to the depression. And so I was grateful in that moment for that. And I want to say that might have been my gratitude moment for the week. And I know it's a small one, but at least I had one, right? And it's that idea that even on the really, really shitty weeks, you have to find it. You have to find the gratitude. And this was a really fucking shitty week. And so we decided to take off, right? And take care of the things, which we did do. We took care of some things, right? And we got in gear about some things and whatever, but we missed Halloween, which would have been a really fun holiday to work. And I don't know, this year's holiday, it's my favorite holiday, and I just feel like it didn't happen this year. I'm sad about that too right now. Just I'm really feeling the need for fun. Let's say that. I'm really feeling the need for it. And I know that I'm so close to saying to you that fun is my F word for 2021, because I need it so desperately in my life. I talk to you guys about creating joy, and I have moments of small joy, but I need like a year's worth of infusion of fun into my life right now, because it's been a very serious, like 5 years, the last 5 years. Good, serious, and important, serious, but still very serious. But anyway, so today is cleaning day, just so that we all know things are happening, right? I'm grateful that at this point in my life, I have figured out all of these little tools and all of these little ways to push through the hard points that I used to just give up in, of the depression, of the and part of the resilience cycle that I used to give up on, and all of those things. And so I'm learning to kind of walk through with the discomfort, right? Getting comfortable in my own discomfort, and I'm just going to walk through it, right? And I know that that's the way through, right? And so today is cleaning day for both our house and the truck, and it's massive and overwhelming, and I'm having anxiety about it, and I'm also having demand avoidance about it, which is how we got here in the first place. It's a task that neither of us particularly likes, and so we do split up between, we take each other's least favorite parts, and we do split it up that way, but it still just always feels overwhelming, and I'm trying to push myself through with remembering how good it feels to chill out in a really clean space, and how much that can kind of push you forward into out of that kind of low phase and into a higher phase, and change the energy level and all of that stuff. And so I know it'll be helpful to be moving all day today and sweating and listening to music and cleaning up the house. And then we're going to head out to the truck, which is right there to my right. And we're going to go clean up all of the soda that exploded inside the truck, and clean up from the last time that we worked, and get ourselves ready to get back out there this week, right? Because even though not everything got fixed, we got a lot of stuff done that had to happen, and we couldn't have done it if we didn't take these few days off. And we do have to remember, we're just two people. That means that we have to do a lot of self-care in there, right? And so kudos on Antonio this week for taking the gratitude moment and having the moment, and kind of just really being in the now and saying, here's the reality, this is what we're going to do, because we have to do it. And I just love that, because I hate that it always has to be me that does that, and now it doesn't, right? And that's my hope for you guys, is that we help each other in that space too. Yeah. So that's sort of it for me. I'm feeling really kind of on a down right now, but I know that it won't last. It won't stay here. And I'm certain that cleaning the house and checking things off this list, this massive list of things to do, will help. And we are kind of halfway through diagnosing the vehicles and getting them back on the road, and knowing the urgency of that. And so we'll get there too. And it all kind of will unravel, and I'm sure that I will eventually get through it. But I'm definitely in that place of feeling kind of bummed. Half of it is probably just the chemistry of my body and the change in the seasons and that fun part of it, right? And the other part of it is that, yeah, man, it's been really challenging to get this going. And I've had a lot of resilience, and kind of kept sort of an upbeat pace. But right now, in this moment, I'm feeling a little defeated, and I'm feeling a little discouraged. And I think I just have to acknowledge that happens. It happens to all of us. And next week I'll be singing another tune. Next week something else will have happened to have reminded me that if you pay attention to the moments of gratitude, they're really actually huge, even though they feel small to you in the moment. So we'll get back to it. I'll get back to it. I'd like to get to be some writing at some point. I don't know. I'm working on the newsletter, you guys. I really, really like the topic for this month, and I think it's something I'm still working on myself. So it's been a little tougher to put the issue together. It's not going to come out till after Election Day, because I just don't feel like being in the mix of all that. So it'll be coming out the 4th. So you still have time to sign up for the ye old newsletter, Monthly Musings. It is free, comes to you in your inbox once a month. You can do that on my website. Anyway, I hate that silly part. Subscribe, thumbs up, all that fun stuff. But that's not why I do this. So I'm going to go, and I'm going to be hyper-focused. I'm going to hyper-focus on the clean and listen to some music. And you guys are like, yes, make it fun. And you're right. I will make it fun. And I will play the SDL theme song for sure. Yeah, that's true. Thank you, Michelle. She's right. Just putting it in perspective, that Antonia and I have kind of battled through something bigger than this. And I think part of it is that exhaustion, right? Part of it is that lack of spoons. So it's like, when anything discouraging happens and you don't have the energy to like do something about it, or it's going to take a little bit longer to do something about it, it's hard to remember that shift in perspective. But you're right. Absolutely. In comparison to dealing with that, yeah, this is cake, I guess. So we'll get there. But I just wanted to remind you that I'm human, and that I too have days and weeks that feel bleak and depressing, and like I can't ever climb out. And I do the things that I genuinely tell you guys to do, which is go back to basics. If I can't find the joy or create the joy right now, well, then I'm sure going to create the space that joy can happen in, which means I need to go and clean my house and keep the laundry done and do the dishes and take showers and that kind of stuff, and do things that I've been meaning to do, like clean out my drawers, because now all my shirts are wrinkled because they're all squished in there. So I'm going to do stuff like that, and I'm going to keep moving, because those little steps, right, that just keep moving forward stuff, and that little steps at a time, that will keep me from the inertia, even if they're just small steps. So today's small step is kind of detaching from the interweb and kind of getting down to just real basics of cleaning my house and getting our house in order, so that we feel better being in it, and we can enjoy it a little more. So that's it. And read. Yes, Joe, I'm going to read. I'm actually reading a fucking crazy book right now, and I'm really enjoying it. So if I like it all the way till the end, I will share it with you. But I read a lot of junky books when I'm like, oh, get back to reading so you can remember the joy of reading. So I'm reading this like semi-junky but really crazy book right now, with really interesting characters in it, which is usually the thing that gets me going. Anyway, so I will eventually relax and read after the house is clean. And I will remember to hydrate and eat and pee along the way, and all of those things, because it's that basic stuff. Uh-oh, Fiona has seen something. It is that basic stuff that will get me back in gear, that will get me back in alignment, right? That will get me back chasing the goals, seeing the big picture, all of that fun stuff. So I do the stuff that I tell you to do, and I will have a different energy, I'm sure, the next time that I see you. But that's where I'm at right now. That's the honest and real truth of living this life that we're creating, right? So I thank you guys for spending some time with me today. First of all, I love your company so much. I love our little meetings. I love how we're here to support each other. And you guys, I see you in the chat cheering me on in your own way, cuddling my cats and reminding me all the different ways that I can create my own joy. And that's exactly what I teach to you guys. And I'm going to do all of those things, because we know they work, and I'm going to keep at it. And we'll talk about more of this crap, I'm sure, on Tuesday when I come back to you guys with Being Back Alive, and we'll do some great, fantastic support group topic, whatever comes to my mind as a kind of, or unless you guys have a suggestion, of course, you can email me at really, you can do whatever you want, but that will never get to my inbox. My inbox is info@beccalori.com, LORY, or you can use the contact page on my website. Or comment here, comment wherever you're watching the video. But anyway, you guys, I will see you on Tuesday for Being Back Alive, where we'll talk about some more important stuff about living life on the spectrum as an adult in the now. And for now, I am going to take my gratitude and go clean my house. And I will see you guys out on the interwebs, and I will see you definitely for sure right here on this YouTube channel on Tuesday. Have a really good rest of your weekend, you guys. Thank you so much for being here and sharing some time with me this morning. I'm grateful for that. I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a good one. Bye.